right, welcome back, everybody. This is now the fifth P that we are talking about here in the business process. And welcome, it's Wednesday. If you guys were looking for me yesterday, I apologize. My schedule went a lot later than I expected, and it was past my my lifetime, so I apologize. But I'm here. It's Wednesday, and today is, I believe, August 18th, 19th. And 2020, and we are plugging away at the P's right here in the business process. So, folks, let me just recap over here as we get right into the business process. I want to recap again. Every day, I'm just going to recap real quick about what we spoke about past few days, just in case you get this video and you haven't seen the previous one. So, business process, first of all, you need a product, okay? You need a product. Then you need personnel. Not always. Of this whole process, okay, the only P that you probably can get away with is the P for personnel. All right. Personally, I have a few businesses and only one of them has employees. So personnel would be employees. Okay. And then 2 days ago on Monday, I believe, we spoke about the process. Process is very, very important when you have a business. Doesn't matter how big or how small it is. You always have to have a process. Okay, if you don't have a process, you are very likely going to get into issues where you're spending a lot of time doing stuff that isn't efficient. So a process is very, very important. And it's something that you have to kind of look at every now and then. If things are really running smoothly, finances are running smooth and everything, great. If not, it's always good to look at the process to see if there is something that can be tweaked, changed, or made better, simpler in the process. Okay. And today's P is, and if you watched the process video live, I talk about the P that we're going to talk about today, which is paperwork. It is basically every business owner's nightmare, unless you're like me, that's very, perfectionist type thing. I make sure my paperwork is in order all the time because I have seen and not really kind of experienced it myself, unless I like kind of slag off for a couple, 2 or 3 months, then you have to catch up. All right. But I have literally consulted with businesses that have never done paperwork. What is paperwork? I'm going to tell you right now. But when you don't do it, what happens is it becomes a nightmare. And it is very, very complicated afterwards to try to catch up. I'm reading a really, really good book, which if you like reading, and I suggest you read, and I like to read business books. It's Alibaba. It's a story about Jack Ma, which is the founder of Alibaba, which is like the Amazon of China. And a very interesting book. And in one of the chapters that they, obviously talking about him, he gets an assistant to a partner that comes in, and one of the things that they notice right away is the paperwork backlog. Okay, so even guys like Jack Ma, who started, is now a multi-billion-dollar company, when he started off, he really had paperwork issues, and paperwork is very, very important, folks. What is paperwork? Paperwork basically is once you have a product, okay, if you are a physical product or whether it's a digital product, there's always going to be some type of an invoice, okay? Let's say even if you are your own product, like I spoke about, let's say you're a singer, okay? You're a singer and you are your product. Well, you're going to play at a club, you're going to play at a bar, you're going to sing at a concert, whatever it is. With that, you are going to have generate an invoice, okay, for the place so that they can pay you. That's paperwork, okay? Once they pay you, they have, probably going to give you, there's a contract as well, your contract, their contract. All of that has to be kept in order, okay? Because if ever you get audited or you need to go back, or if there's a lawsuit of some sort, you need your paperwork in order, okay? Also, very important. This is where a lot of small business owners, they lack the discipline of paperwork. And I don't have my wallet with me, but in my wallet, I only use a credit card. And, I've got 4 business credit cards for the businesses. Each individual business has its own card. And then I have all my receipts. At the end of the month, it goes into my little system. I'm going to talk to you about that right now. What happens is, if you and I'm the type of person that I declare everything I make, but at the same time, I also write off everything I can. If I go through a toll booth and it's a business trip, that I'm, and it's a 50-cent, a 25-cent toll charge, it comes on my toll statement. I write that off, because it's 25 cents now, but at the end of the year, it could be $25, $30, $50, $100, depending on how often I travel out of my, into areas that I go through tolls. And I go up to New Hampshire sometimes, Maine sometimes, to see clients. And so every time, and sometimes it's $2 toll, $3 toll, $1 toll. So all of those little dollars, they all add up. And unless you have a good organized paperwork system, you are going to be giving away free money to the government, unless, of course, you're not declaring everything. Then then you're risking getting an audit, and when you get an audit, then don't call me. Call your attorney or your accountant and have them deal with it. But it's very, very easy to avoid an audit. And even if you do get audited, if you've got everything in order, it'll be a breeze for you. Okay, so paperwork is very important. Just at 6.5 minutes, what is my process? This is a process that I learned from one of my mentors, okay, in a business that I used to be a general manager for him. And this is the system that we had. And in that business, we actually had smaller daily envelopes. Then there was weekly envelopes, and then there were monthly envelopes. Okay, so manila envelopes is what I like to use. Okay, why? Because each one, so this is just for one of my businesses. You have January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Obviously, this is August, so this is the month of August, which we're in. So that's why that one's in the front, because once it's ready, it goes into the back, and then September stays up front, and that goes into my filing cabinet. So what is inside these manila envelopes? Well, it's everything. Okay, I have all of my receipts. So the receipts for anything that I purchase that's business wise. If I go on a business lunch, if I take somebody out for lunch, a client out for lunch or something like that, the receipt goes in here. Okay, parking receipts, toll receipts, any type of receipts, everything goes in here. Then I have obviously the bank statements. So that's the client list that I saw that month. And then there is the bank statements. Okay, so everything goes in here. There's a piece of paper flying around here, but that's what goes in here. Okay, January 1st until January 31st or 30th. I think it's 30 or 31 days. Doesn't matter. Okay, goes into here, and that is it. Okay, then it obviously gets logged into an Excel spreadsheet, and from there it goes to my accountant during tax time. All right, so very, very simple. Now, if you have somebody that does your bookkeeping, same thing. I have bookkeepers for a couple of the businesses. This particular one, I like to do it myself. It's a lot easier for me. It's very simple. But what I'm saying is, doesn't matter if you're giving it to a bookkeeper, if you're giving it to your accountant, whatever, the more organized it is, the more that your bookkeeper, your accountant is going to love you and probably charge you less for the nightmare that they might have to go through to keep up your paperwork. Okay, so I didn't even write it down. So let me write it down. Paperwork. Okay. And again, I want to mention, if you're in Facebook or Instagram, you're going to see this written backwards, but don't worry, it's one word every day. And then on obviously YouTube, you see it forward facing. But folks, that is it for paperwork. If you do not have your paperwork in order, and it's the simplest thing, it's a day by day thing. Trust me, you do not want to get caught what I will call with your paperwork down, your pants down. God forbid you get audited and this isn't in order. You are going to pay very heftily if what I call my big brothers with the the black suits and sunglasses that I talk about in the book. And if you're starting a business, or have started a business, if your business is a month old, 2 months old, 6 months old, a year old, 2 years old, and you haven't done paperwork, get down to it now. Don't delay. Spend a whole month if you need to just organizing your paperwork, because it's going to be a lot easier and smoother for you. I talk about that in the book. Okay. Folks, this is it. I am right up to the 10 minutes right now. That is it. Paperwork. That's the P we're talking about today. Tomorrow we've got another P. Come on back. Tomorrow my schedule is very, very tight. I hope I can get back in time to do this live. If not, well, I'll see you on Friday. All right. Don't forget, go. It's yours for the taking. If you do not take the blessing that is yours, somebody else is going to go up ahead of you and grab your blessing. I'll see you the next time we're live. Adios, amigos. See ya.